we have moments in life where we truly feel like we're on top of the world. You know, we have everything going for us. We're talking to the people we want to. We're interacting with the coolest people, and we just feel like we're invincible. But there will be a point in time where you kind of lose this feeling, and you kind of feel reality kind of creeping back into your life, and your old past catches up to you, or the moment of success, the spotlight isn't on you anymore. And this is going to kind of cause you to just wonder where everything went. And usually this happens before people even really understand that they're falling off. The falling off process starts before you realize that you're falling off. Falling off is inevitable because no one can ever stay in their prime or stay at their peak forever. So it's important that you enjoy it and you try to make it last as long as possible. I kind of felt my fall off kind of very early in life. When I was a sophomore, entering sophomore year, I had my glow up. I was dressing a little nicer, made sure I smelled good, and I also grew to like 5'10", 5'11", and during this time, a lot of kids in my grade, a lot of guys in my grade didn't really look how I did, and all the spotlight was on me. I had girls following me on Instagram. I had dudes wanting to network with me, asking me to hang out with them. I was getting invited out to places more, and my social circle as a whole just expanded. My network really did go up, and I enjoyed it. I took full advantage of it, and I did what every other kid would do. I just enjoyed being popular. Being popular is something that every kid in high school fights after or seeks to have some sort, especially if you're like a mid-tier person. You kind of want to keep climbing your way up. People that are towards the lower social barrier, and people towards the lower social barrier, they might feel like it's kind of impossible for them to kind of climb up the ladder. But when you're definitely in the middle tier, you really want to push towards the top and become one of the coolest kids in your grade. And it's very shallow to think like this, but that's just how we are. I feel like in today's world, it's really how majority of people think. But if you can prevent yourself from thinking like that, really, that's really good. That's definitely a bonus. And if I was still a sophomore in high school, I definitely would have told myself to not care as much. Care a little bit, but not too much, Definitely doesn't hurt to be popular in high school, but being cream of the crop kind of requires you to do certain things that you might not necessarily want yourself to do. But I started to feel reality creep in, and I've kind of felt the fell off when I was entering my junior year. I had a much harder course schedule. I had AP classes now. I kind of worked my way into those. I grinded really hard last year, and I was able to land myself placement in AP classes. As a result, I was talking to my old friends less and less, and I kind of kept to myself now because I was so focused on my schoolwork, my GPA, worrying about SATs. That whole period of that whole year was very hard for me in terms of being busy with courses and schoolwork and just really prepping for my future. And as a result, like, the spotlight wasn't on me anymore. Other kids were glowing up. Other kids were they were going out to these events. They're going out to like parties and stuff, and the spotlight just kind of got removed from me because I stayed the same, and I didn't really maintain my level of popularity as I did before. I wasn't constantly checking up on people, wasn't maintaining my social status, and as a result, it definitely dropped, and it made me wonder, like, what I was doing wrong. And at the time, obviously I didn't know, because I was junior in high school. How on earth was I supposed to know that? But I just kept thinking to myself, how can I get back to that? And I realized that certain friends didn't want to be friends with me anymore because I wasn't as popular as I used to be. That's kind of how it is. There's a lot of like fake people that kind of just chase clout, a lot of clout chasers. So once you're not at that high peak anymore, a lot of people aren't going to give you the same time and attention that they did when you were. And that's just something you're going to have to understand. But when you do fall off, it's mainly because you are complacent and you're not improving. You're not coming back even better than you were currently or you were previously. For example, in this situation, if I learned to maintain my level of social status, if I maintained relationships, if I was still making time to go out and socializing, that was just a choice I decided to make, and realizing how much it would hurt your social status and your just overall happiness as a whole at that time, I definitely would have managed it better. But in terms of you being in the spotlight, it doesn't last forever. So when you have those moments and when you're up, really enjoy that, because there are going to be times where you think tomorrow you'll be having that same exact feeling, but it could all be taken away from you overnight. Think about think about people in like the music industry. They're up for like a year or so and then they fall off, and it's crazy because you think that they're gonna be in that spotlight forever, because they have one really good album or they have one really good song. But with time, some people don't learn how to adapt, and some people can't maintain that spotlight on them, and it just disappears. And then you kind of see people fall off, and in some scenarios, people really don't know how to handle it. People kind of just go into a deep depression, but you just have to continue to work on yourself and continue to improve in the areas in which you can, and ultimately just become as good as you can as a human. You can't let other people's opinions and other people's attention spans no longer being towards you affect your mood, affect your happiness. Be happy with who you are, and you're gonna enjoy the moments when you're up. And even when that spotlight isn't on you, if you're still proud of who you truly are, you're not really gonna let other people's opinions affect you. You're not gonna let the social status dropping affect you. You're gonna be cool with who you are. You're gonna have your set group of friends, and that's really all you need.